Hey guys, I thought I would go ahead and make my November TBR. I don't usually make TBRs for myself, and this is obviously the first time I've done it publicly. So, I'm hoping that I stick to the plan that I have, but I guess there's no guarantees. I do think it will be a good idea for me to start doing these more regularly because I do think it will help me stay on track as far as reading what I want to get done, and I do buy a lot of books that I fully intend to get around to, and then I don't. So I guess this is a good attempt for my first month. I picked out 10 books that I would like to get done before the end of November, um, and I try to pick books from a variety of genres. Um, but I mean, I guess most of them, I guess, would still probably count as fantasy or horror science fiction, um, but not all of them. And I will continue to try to broaden what I'm reading each month if I feel confident that I'm going to get through my plans. So I guess I'll just get started. The first book on my list for November is Dragonwing by Margaret Weiss and Tracy Hickman. I picked this up. Um, it was actually in my first video, my birthday book haul. Um, I picked this up at a half price books, and I am familiar with the Dragonlance series. I haven't read much of it, but I like what I've read, and these writers um, wrote that series. And I'm always looking for good high fantasy or like things that deal with like dragons and whatnot. So it was cheap, and I was familiar with the author, so I thought I might as well give it a try. And I have started it already, and I'm on page 20, so I'm not that far, but I do like it so far. And I guess it's like a whole series. I don't really know much about it. Um, I think there's 7 books, and like most of them are kind of standalone, but I think they um, get drawn together like as the series goes on, so that they have more to do with each other, and characters start crossing paths and whatnot. So that's pretty cool. I'm looking forward to finishing this book and hopefully getting the rest of the series if I like it. So yeah, Dragonwing, Volume 1 of the Death Gate Cycle. The next book is Moon Call by Patricia Briggs, which is the first book in the Mercy Thompson series. I don't know how many there are, and I also don't know very much about this series except that the main character is a shapeshifter, and there's lots of werewolves, and I think there's vampires, and I think it's just a pretty typical urban fantasy, supernatural romance-esque kind of book. It's not the sort of thing I would ordinarily read, but I've been into this like werewolf shapeshifter phase lately, and I'm looking for like new spins on it. So I saw this at a bookstore a while ago, and I picked it up, and I just never read it. Um, and so I saw it on my shelf, and since it's it's around Halloween time, and I know November is not Halloween, but it comes right after Halloween and it's still fall, so I thought um, a werewolf book or a shapeshifter book would be appropriate for the season. So I don't know if I'll like that. I'm actually not feeling very optimistic about it, but I thought I'd give it a shot. And if I don't like it, then it's short. I mean, it's like 400 pages, not even, and it's not a very big book, so I should be able to get through it pretty fast. Um, the next book on my list is Vampires. I just love this cover. It's so ridiculous, and the back has this like great bat on it. But it's just an anthology of short vampire stories by a variety of authors. It's edited by Alan Ryan, and this is an older book. Yeah, 1987. I think I picked this up at a library sale, and again, it was just one of those things I never got around to, but I thought it would be good for the season. And it looks like it just has a bunch of kind of well-known and some not as well-known stories dealing with vampires. Um, like I see John Polidori's The Vampire in here, and Barney the Vampire, and Carmilla, Bram Stoker's in here. So yeah, there's plenty in here that I'm familiar with, and I know that I like a good amount of these writers. So It'll be cool to be exposed maybe to some writers that I'm not as familiar with. Um, Sticking with the slightly spooky theme. And finally getting around to reading a book that I've had in my house for a really long, long time. So, okay. Um, and that's the only book of short stories that I picked out for this month. So I don't know if I'll read that all in one go, or if I'll like read a story here and there and then move on to another book on my list. But the next book is King Arthur and His Knights of the Round Table, and it's by Roger Lancelyn Green. It's in one of my, I have a whole bunch of these newer Puffin editions of books. Like I just started collecting them. I just think they're so nice. I love they're like a nice like squarish, more, I don't know. I like the shape of the book, and I like the way the cover art is, and I don't know. They're really nice editions, and they're cheap. Like this was only $5. Most of them are only $5. There's like some bigger ones. Like I know Dracula. I want to say was like $8 because it's like a bigger book. Most of them are unabridged. I want to say some of the Charles Dickens editions are abridged, but this one is not abridged. So it's I've actually never read officially anything about King Arthur. I just know like bits and pieces from what I picked up from like media and stuff. And it's a quick read, and I wanted to finally get around to it. I also like some of the illustrations on the inside are pretty neat. So yeah, I'm looking forward to this. Who knows? Maybe I'll really like King Arthur stories, and I'll read more of them. But I thought I would at least give it a try and see if it clicked. The next book is called Christos Rising by Harry Turtledove, and I've also had this book laying around for a while. You'll notice that theme with most of these. I'm really trying to get around to reading books that I've owned for a long time and not even picked up. I don't really. I have 3 books in this series, and I don't know anything about it. But my sister gave all 3 to me, um, and said that I should read them. And I've never read anything by this author before, and this is not something I would probably ordinarily read on my own, even though I like fantasy, because I think it's more of like a fighting based fantasy. Like I don't know, it's not my normal thing, but we'll see how it goes. Yeah, I would say more about it, but I don't really know anything. It says the back. I guess. Hmm, I guess it's just about this guy Crispos. I hope I'm saying that right. It's kind of a weird name, Crispos, and I think it just follows his life after he's like driven from his family land by like some kind of terrible um, like empire. I don't know. We'll see. I'll probably do a review of this after I read it. Yeah. Okay. Next is The Monstrumologist by Rick Yancey. I've had several people recommend this book to me, um, and I keep meaning to get around to it. I found it really cheap at a local used bookstore recently, and I don't know. It sounds like it's something that's like right up my alley since I really like YA and I really like horror, and I was told that it's actually like kind of gruesome for like a YA book, and I'm all into that, like stretching the limits and stuff like that of what is acceptable for young readers, in the horror genre. So I'm interested in seeing what's so remarkable about this compared to other things. Um, so yeah, I'm looking forward to this. I know everyone has read this, and I just haven't gotten around to it yet. And I know there's a sequel, at least one sequel. There might be more than one sequel. I don't know. But I'm glad, because if I like it, I will definitely read the other one. Next, I decided to read Wuthering Heights, another nice Puffin Classics edition, also unabridged. You gotta watch out with like classics in the Puffin books or in just any kind of children's edition, because they are often abridged, and that would be really frustrating for me. If I read like the whole book and then found out that it was actually abridged. So yeah, I know I read this in like junior high, and I remember liking it a lot, but I don't remember very much about it. But I wanted to read it again. It's again something within like the kind of like gothic-y tradition that I feel like I should be more familiar with because I enjoy it so much. So I just want to show this like a little bit closer because I really like these editions. For some reason, they just really appeal to me aesthetically. But yeah, so Wuthering Heights. And I've got 3 more left. The next book is Aragon, and it's by Christopher Paolini. I hope I'm saying that right also. I really haven't read this yet. I know, I don't know. I like fantasy, I like YA fantasy. How have I not read this yet? I don't know. I bought it with the intention of reading it, and it didn't happen. So, I really don't even know very much about it, except that it deals with dragons, and I love dragons. So I'm looking forward to it, because I can't imagine that I won't like it. And I know that there's 2 more books in the trilogy. So yeah, that should be good. I think I'll like that. Next, this one might be even more horrible, that I haven't read. But I plan on reading A Wrinkle in Time, by, I'm going to pronounce it wrong. It's Madeline L'Engle. I'm really sorry. I look at things and I recognize them in my head, but I haven't ever said them out loud before, so I don't know how to pronounce them. And I have been meaning to read this like basically my entire life, and I'm finally going to do it, and I'm gonna love it, and I'm going to read everything else she's ever written. I'm just so convinced I'm going to like it because everybody does, and it's just been recommended to me so many times by people that I trust. And yeah, so I'm really really excited. I'm thinking I'm likely to read this next after I finish Dragon Wing. So I'm really excited. I know that I think there's 4 books, 5 books? 5 books in this, I think so, in this series, but there are also related series. I think they feature the same characters, but it'll be cool if I do like it, to have like another like whole world to get into reading from. And the last book on my list this month is Wizard's First Rule by Terry Goodkind, and I read this in high school, and I got really into the series, and then I forget what happened. I think I started college is what happened, and I was like 6 or 7 books in, and I stopped reading them, and it has been so long now that I feel like in order to get back into the series, I just have to start over. Um, so I'm definitely going to do that. I'm excited. I'll probably be reading these more regularly once I get past this first book because I enjoy it so much. I already know I like it, so I'm excited to revisit these characters. I really love all the creatures in the series. The characters are really charming, and I mean, it is a bit of a big read. I hope I'm not being overly ambitious. I mean, like the type is pretty small. Like I forgot how big these were. All the books in this series, I feel like they get progressively bigger too, if I remember correctly. But this is like 573 pages, and like the type is like this. So I think I might be being a little ambitious, but I thought a challenge would be good for me. So I'm going to give it my best shot. If I don't finish it, that's fine. I'll just let it carry over to next month. But yeah, so I guess I'm excited to revisit some old favorites and get into new series and new characters. If there are any books in this series, I guess, like I said, I'm reading Dragon Wing right now, and I thought that I would get to A Wrinkle in Time next, but if you want to suggest a particular order for me to read any of these books in, or if you want to recommend anything based on these books that you think I'd like to add to my to-read pile, that would be really cool. Or if you've read any of them and you like them, or you've read any of them and you hate them and you want to tell me about it, I would really, really appreciate comments. And I'm going to cut myself off now because this video has already gotten much longer than I expected it to be. But thank you for watching, and I'm hoping to actually get a hold of some better recording equipment very soon, and not only video but also better sound quality and lighting as well. It's something I really intend to do very shortly. So please stick with me. I'm doing my best with what I have available to me now, and I'll try to become a little bit more confident in the future also, and maybe a little bit more interesting. But yeah, I'm not sure what my next video will be. I I'm definitely on a book buying ban, so there probably will not be any book hauls for a while. Um, Hopefully I will record some reviews of some of these books from this month as I finish them. Um, so yeah, if there are any of books in this list that you also think I should review, that would be cool. Sorry, that was an alarm. Um, make a review video of. I'd be happy to do that. Just let me know which ones you'd like to see. So yeah, again, thank you for watching. Please leave any comments or questions down below. See you guys later. Bye.